Absolutely. And interestingly enough, we actually had to send a bulletin out yesterday to our entire network because there was a phishing scam over email that was actually naming some of our board members in it. So it's becoming much more complex in terms of trying to, as organizations to ensure that we have the cybersecurity and security in place in order to ensure that these types of things don't take hold. And it's amazing. It's amazing how complex they're becoming, and really the intel and how they are skimming for information that's actually going to make them look legitimate. It's like I said, this just happened to us yesterday.
I can't believe that. I didn't know that. I didn't know you were going to say that. This happened to you, just your organization, just yesterday. This is just reiterating how pervasive this is. Your whole team at Alberta Chambers, obviously you've got members, chamber members from across the province, but right now it's all eyes on Jasper, isn't it? And in particular, I know there's the human element. Doesn't matter what people do for work, doesn't matter what people do for business, whatever, but your organization is mobilizing to make sure that chamber members, that business owner operators are looked out for, especially in these early days of the evacuation and for a lot of people starting again from scratch. Where do you start as an organization with Alberta Chambers of Commerce?
Yeah, so the Alberta Chambers of Commerce, of course, we always mobilize our network and mobilize in times of need, and our hearts are just going out to everybody who's impacted by all of the wildfires in the province. But particularly, obviously, we have a chamber in Jasper, and we've been very connected to Patty, who's the leader there, just staying up to date on what she's getting in terms of information, just letting her know that we're here to support her and the business community as they look at, next steps. And one of the things that we've done in the past is in 2013, as a result of the High River floods, we set up the Chamber Relief Trust Fund. So essentially, it's set up to support the chamber itself, to start providing those resources, to start providing that information out to the business community as they look at, what are our next steps. And in fact, as of you're hearing it first, we haven't even confirmed all of the presenters, but we're going to be doing a town hall next Wednesday, August 7th from 3 until 4:30. And what we'll be doing there is just focusing in on those first initial steps. So as businesses and business owners get back into the community, what do they need to be paying attention to? Top of mind for us is mental health, supporting them individually first and foremost. We'll be talking about, insurance. We'll be talking about banking. We'll talk to various levels of government, the municipality, GOA, et cetera, about what they can expect in terms of resources and how they, if there's any relief or any aid, how they apply for that. So we're really excited. You're the first to hear it. We're literally just starting to put the program together. But again, we're here to support and really support the business community, and cannot express enough how deeply we are sympathizing with what's happening to individuals who have been displaced in this disaster.
Well, it reiterates, one of the values of I think being a chamber member, and the value of Chambers of Commerce, in that you have a collective group. You've got a group of people that can understand a lot of these challenges that people are going to be experiencing, and they can understand the best way to address those. So you've got the town hall coming up on Wednesday, August 7th. Best place for people to connect and get more information on that, probably your website, I'm assuming, abchamber.ca.
Absolutely. We'll be posting it up there. It'll be going out on social media, as well as the Jasper Park Chamber will also have information. We're working too with Business Council of Alberta, so they'll be posting some information. So just keep your eyes open, and we'll be distributing it across the various social media channels. So if any of your viewers have anybody who has been impacted, has a business that would like to learn more about what to expect going back, please have them find those details and join us, because we're lining up a good group of speakers that can help support that process.
Okay, in our show notes, we'll link directly to there's like a direct deposit form, or you can do pre-authorized payments as well. Again, it's just so on our radar right now, Shauna, that we want to be presenting vetted, credible information, and here is one. People that want to contribute to the Chamber Relief Trust Fund can do so directly with this banking information information here. They're not providing their own banking information. This is the information to contribute to that trust fund. This was established more than 10 years ago, right? This was, I feel like I remember it like it was yesterday. I can remember that iconic photo of the firefighter carrying that older lady from the dinghy back onto dry land in High River. Everybody remembers when it felt like half the province was underwater. But this has been a trust fund established then and then all the way through for people that have experienced natural disasters like this Jasper fire.
Absolutely, yeah. So to date, it's supported, obviously it was put in place for High River, but it's supported Lacrete and of course Fort McMurray during their devastation. And now the sole focus will be on Jasper. I do want to say that this is an ongoing fund. So it's, the funds that go into it are used, if it doesn't all get used to support the Jasper Chamber to get back up and running and support the local business community, then it will stay and be there to support any communities in the future. And let's cross our fingers that it doesn't need to be used in the future, but it's always there to support whatever chamber is being impacted.
Perfect. This business resiliency resource that the chamber has, this is really a robust resource, again, at abchamber.ca. This is not something that you've kind of like slapped together in the last week ever since the Jasper fire started. Nobody predicted what was going to happen in Jasper, but your team has been putting this together since the beginning of this year. Is that right?
That's correct, Ryan, and a great partnership with the government of Alberta, Jobs, Economy and Trade Ministry. We started talking early in the year about, last year, obviously, we saw a lot of evacuations, and luckily not the level of devastation we're seeing in Jasper. But just how understanding that we have a network of 108 chambers across the province, and in those conversations with the GOA, just that how do we mobilize that network to support if there is an emergency situation. And so that's essentially, we started standing up the Business Resiliency website with resources. And what's really interesting is it's a one-stop shop. So we're trying to make it the most user-friendly, comprehensive place to go for information. We have live RSS feeds of, everything that's coming out in terms of bulletins. We have resources available to businesses. And it's actually layered. So it's not just what's currently happening and what we're dealing with right now, but it's also about communities and businesses to look at for preparation. So we look at, what do you need to be doing in terms of preparing, and so that you are ready in case something does happen in your community. It looks at, okay, we're currently in the disaster situation. What do we need to be doing? What resources do we need to have? And have all of that information in one place. And then post. So in the, aftermath and similar to what we're doing now, after the event has happened, then how do we mobilize? What do we need to be paying attention to? What resources are we going to need? And all of that is in one spot. So we're just really excited about the fact that, the foresight and planning on this project, and that we're able to mobilize that. Interestingly enough, Ryan, there is a section on cybersecurity in there as well.
I shouldn't be surprised that you guys had that on your radar, because kind of the whole idea of this is to ensure that your business is prepared to navigate challenges across the board, which is why I think it's such a great resource. Well, again, we'll link to it in the show notes. Part of this is like, the mental health supports and the supports for businesses as they navigate things like insurance claims. I was talking to an insurance executive off the record yesterday, just giving us a sense of the value. I'm not going to say the number yet of what they're pegging this Jasper fire at, but it's in the hundreds of millions, obviously. And you recognize the business implications there. But then there's also things like business continuity, where for a lot of these businesses, they may not be based in Jasper as we speak. They're evacuated, but they've still got to keep that business running. It seems like for as many businesses as there are that many different types of challenges that people are going to need assistance and support with right now.
Absolutely. And that's there again, just reach out to ACC. During COVID, we stood up what was called Chamber Market, and I'm maybe digressing a little bit from the original conversation.
That's allowed.
But that was absolutely put in place because we knew we had businesses that were shut down and didn't have capacity to find a way to get their goods and services to market in a cost-effective way, didn't have the ability to stand up that online e-commerce platform. So that is actually still in existence. So, stuff like that, if you're impacted and you think that, you have goods or services that could be, put onto an e-commerce platform and you just never had that opportunity. That's just one other way that we could support, and those businesses being impacted could, find an alternative way of getting their goods to market while they are, displaced and out of their premises.